great talent at going past people. And then his great thing is he then cuts in, he's down the right wing, he cuts inside, runs across the line of the defence, and he lets fly with an incredible left foot shot. He's done this a few times, and the ball has gone straight for the top left corner as it curves in. I mean, he scores some breathtaking goals. And of course, I think we all knew at the end of last season, even though Palace had really picked up under the new manager Glasner, we all knew that Olise was likely to go, and of course he has gone. Um, but yeah, what was there a figure for that? What was his transfer fee?
Yeah, it's 55 million euros.
Right, so I guess about 43, 45 million pounds.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I think maybe more for potential, but I think in today's football market, I think he's worth more than that. If I were a club who wanted him and were progressing well, I'd probably go to 70 million, 75 million pounds. Really
Right.
would, because he's a joy to watch. I mean, he's fabulous as a footballer. He's got perfect balance. Again, probably because he's very physically light. Although I guess I still think he needs to fill out a bit. But
Yeah.
he's a great footballer. Great footballer, yeah.
Right. Now we're just going to briefly move to the top six. Now, this one says top player of the year for 2024. And we're talking about the top six young player of the year. So, young player of the year in the top
Yeah.
six. And I'm going to say the inclusion that the one player that's included there, and I really love that he made the list, is Cole Palmer. I really love that kid. He's he's really he's got a great future, put it that way.
Mm.
Yeah. So there's Cole Palmer. There is Bukayo Saka. There's Michael Olise again. There's Kobe Mainoo.
Man
Uh,
United, yeah.
yeah, and there is Garnacho,
Also Man United,
Man United, and there is Pedro. So Joe
yeah.
Pedro. Yeah. Um, Now, what do you make of the list? Do you think it's
Well,
accurate? Is there any player that you think shouldn't be there?
just remind me, who does Pedro play for? I do know, but I've forgotten.
Uh, Brighton and Hove Albion.
Brighton, yeah, yeah. Well, to come back, you said first one was Cole Palmer. I think we agreed before in the Euros that he is a great player.
It
I
is.
think he plays well ahead of his years. He's only 21, 22, something like that.
Yeah.
But he's got a brilliant football brain and awareness. He's talented. He can dribble, but he's got that great, again, a great football brain. He can put over a long pass. He sees opportunities. I mean, his passes can be defence splitting. I think we saw one or two goals we scored in England scored in the Euros
Right.
because of his incredible threading a ball through, perfect weighting on it, and then it was smacked into the goal. So yeah, I think Cole Palmer probably is the best player that, shall we say, the country has produced in the last 4 or 5 years. I think
Uh,
he's that good. And of course, he was with Man City.
yeah.
They may yet regret letting him go. I mean, they did because he was like fourth in line to start a game.
Yeah.
And he obviously wouldn't have wanted that. And they didn't keep him for that. But I think he will prove to be, possibly in terms of Chelsea,
Yeah.
another Conte, who's he's come back. Is it West Ham Conte's come back to? But he was a brilliant midfielder. Um, and I think Palmer is as brilliant as him and probably more so. So, yeah, I don't know what price we will put on him, a huge price. But yeah, Cole Palmer, arguably the top of that list, possibly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I
I would
highly rate him.
I would agree with that. I don't know if West Ham sealed the deal yet with Conte. Not heard much
Oh,
after.
right, they haven't done
Yeah.
that because he was in
I thought
Saudi, wasn't he?
he was,
He went
yes.
out to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, so I don't know if they've sealed a deal. I'll have to find out. Now,
Yeah.
if you was to put them now, the list is in no particular order. It's just a list. So if you was to put them in a list, who would be your number six? Let's start from bottom. So
Well, let me say at this point, that you have frozen on the screen. I can still see you,
all
but
right,
you're frozen. Oh, you're
all right,
back. You're
I'm
back.
back. Yeah.
I thought he's looking a bit serious today. Then I realised you'd frozen. No, so
Yeah.
who would? What did you say? Who I would put at number
Right.
six? Or
Who would you put at the top of the list? And let's start from the bottom of the
number
list. So
one?
let's start from number six. We'll work our way up to number one. I think we already know
Right.
who number one is. I think we already know who
Fine.
number
Yeah.
one is. Yeah, but let's
I
do
think
it.
we agree on that. But let's
Yeah,
start at number six. Yeah.
let's start at number six. So we've got
But
Mainoo,
yeah,
Garnacho, Olise, Palmer, Pedro, Saka.
I think I would put Pedro. Two reasons. One, he plays for Brighton, which are sworn enemies of my team, Palace. So, but no, I mean, I've seen him play, and he's
Right.
obviously a very good footballer. But if I'm honest, I haven't. I'm not so aware of him as I am all of the others. So,
Yeah.
for that reason and that alone, really, I'll put him at number six. That may be unfair, but I know the other players a bit better in terms of how they perform. So my
Right.
number six would be Pedro.
Right. Okay. All right. So number five.
Number five, um, I probably would say Garnacho.
Yeah.
I think on his day he's very good. I think, um, yeah. I mean, he scored fairly recently again, didn't he? Was it in the chat? What was it? These
Shield.
Community
Community
Shield
Shield.
or whatever
Yeah.
they call it.
Community
Yeah,
Shield.
he on his day he's very good, but I just have a feeling I don't think he hides if he's not confident on a given game,
Yeah.
but I'm not convinced he's involved enough in the games.
In the
But when
games.
he
Yeah.
does get involved, I think he shows a lot of talent. So I put him at number five.
So Garnacho number five. Um, Pedro six. Garnacho five. Right. So number four.
Okay, just remind me, we got Olise, Saka. Who else
So we've
is
got
left?
Olise, Saka, Mainoo,
Yeah.
and Cole Palmer.
Who's the last one?
So we've got Olise, Mainoo,
Right.
Saka, Palmer. So there's only four to
Right.
go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Okay. Um, it's a very difficult one because we've got some very, very good players there.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that as we both said, I think I would certainly put Palmer at the top. So let's wipe him out of this.
Right.
He's
Okay.
going to be at the top of my
Yeah.
list.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Um, I mean, again, one of the really good players in the Euros was Mainoo.
Yeah.
I was quite surprised. The only thing I would say is I think he could prove to be a bit indisciplined. I think he
Right.
loved to attack. He loved to go forward. He was very good on the ball. Great to have him midfield there because he can get around the pitch. But I just feel sometimes maybe he neglected his midfield role, his duties
Right.
there, because he was desperate to go forward and score, which you like to see that sort of hunger.
Yeah.
But I think I put him at number four. Is it?
Number
I
four.
put
Yeah.
him as my number four.
Yeah. So
Right.
two more to
And
go.
then, yeah, so um, number three, I would probably say it's a choice between Elise and Saka. And instinctively, I want to choose Elise as he was a Palace player, and I know how good he is. But at the same time, I think Saka did very well in the Euros, particularly the earlier games.
Yeah.
And sometimes you felt he was the one